It's been a minute, so I'm a little rusty.
Yeah, shake off that rust.
Hi,
welcome.
When you die, how would you like your body disposed of? Okay, but here's the thing. Hang on. I know you're going to say something outrageous, so I'm going to say like in a realistic way. Yes, he's giving me a fucking terrible look right now. Okay,
I am.
We have to think about it from a legal standpoint.
Okay, legal, reasonable, blah, blah, blah.
Something people actually do. You're not going to fill your body with cream.
Fill me up with cream.
No, I don't necessarily, like, not that I would be around to care, but I don't want somebody to bang me when I'm dead. I don't want somebody to fill me with cream. I wouldn't be, like, offended by it because I wouldn't know. I'd be dead. Who cares? So I do agree with Frank. But I think ideally I would be put in one of those little, like, tree sacks, and buried, become a tree. Great.
Yeah. So that is a good one.
I do think throw me in the trash is fine. But for me, it would be like, yeah, put me in the compost. Like, I don't mind being buried, but I don't want to be buried in a cemetery in a box.
Yeah. We had that conversation a few episodes ago, I think, at this point, about how crazy cemeteries are and how does it work, etc.
The deep dive that I want to do at some point, which I want to like call a cemetery person and be like, okay, what's the scam? How does this work?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think being buried in the woods in an unmarked grave would be great because then the bugs could eat me, or it could, be a tree, be composted. All those things sound great. Burnination, I guess, is probably the closest thing to one of those because, like, I guess the tree bag thing is real and legal somehow, right?
It is. Yeah, it is.
I don't know how you can get away with that, but not get away with just like throwing people in a ditch.
It probably has something to do with like the location.
Oh, it's probably in a cemetery. It's just a bunch of shitty trees.
It's zoned for dead bodies.
This is zoned DB1, dead bodies. Yeah, but I think cremation is probably the closest thing, but it seems like so much effort. You have to have like specialized equipment and like it's a place and
then doesn't it burn for a really long time?
I didn't think so. I thought they were just like had high powered jets.
Put me in the back of an F-16, hit the afterburner, and then
I feel like they should have like a little hook on the back of jets.
Yeah,
that they could just hook your body to. And the next time the Air Force does like a training mission, because they were probably running those things all the time anyway.
That's probably how Tom Cruise is going to get disposed of.
He's not going to get disposed of. They're going to keep him going. Isn't he like 78 years old and just did a new Top Gun?
I think he's 60 or maybe older. Okay. He's old. It's weird. I agree with Mickey Rourke when he said that he's irrelevant.
You don't think Tom Cruise is a good actor?
I think he's irrelevant in my world.
And that he's done the same role for the last 15 years.
I mean, yeah, it does seem like...
How long ago was Tropic Thunder? That's a deviation.
Probably 15 years.
Yeah.
Great movie, too.
Okay, great. Moving on.
Well, hold on. I have a question for you.
Okay.
Have you ever been a child pageant contestant?
No.
Okay. Have you ever been to...
Wait. Do I strike you as the type?
I think you're very handsome.
Well, that's not what I meant.
So, yeah, I think you could have easily been in the Little Mr. Western Kansas 1993.
Okay. But no, I have not.
Okay, have you ever been to a child pageant thing?
I don't think so.
Okay. I assume the answers would be no, but now I want to get a little more serious. Have you ever been to like a county fair where they judge pumpkins by how big they are, or like pigs by how awesome they are?
Yeah. The pigs by how awesome they are. Yes, of course.
I don't know if you're placating me and being sarcastic.
No. I just like the way you phrased it, and
because I don't know how you judge a pig. Is it just size?
No, I don't know. I'm just saying I like the way you phrased it.
Okay, thank you. But you've been there.
Yes.
But you don't know how they judge them.
It probably has something to do with weight in those circumstances, because we're talking about like product.
Yeah, but also if you have a prize pig, you're not going to chop it up.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
So I'm assuming there's like coloring, or like, do you think they have like like they teach a pig to like dance around and stuff?
Come on, do a beautiful show. It's gonna be awesome.
Hello.
Ladies and gentlemen,
And
welcome to another
episode of It's Always Stockholm in Los Angeles. Today, my name is Nate Harold. I'm here with Will Newton. Today, we are talking about Season 7, Episode 3 of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Frank Reynolds' Little Beauties. Written by Scott Martyr and Rob Russell, directed by...
I just thought it would be funny if you clipped one version of that and just pasted it. Especially in a season, you have a lot of the episodes written by the same people and directed by the same people.
I mean, this has to be the number one.
Yeah, this is a combo
lineup,
that I've heard
right?
before.
Yeah. Maybe we're just in like their era.
Right. Yeah, we do have another 8 seasons to go, so anything could happen.
What do we usually start talking about? What's the first thing?
Do we do like alliances and stuff before we get into it?
This is an interesting episode as far as alliances go, Will.
Yeah.
And I'm going to say these are the alliances in my mind.
Okay.
First, it's the gang, and then Frank.
Yeah.
Which quickly moves to the guys, Mac, Dennis, Charlie, with Benjamin.
For once, let's let the boys in America win.
Frank, with a character named Mort.
My mouth is dry.
And Dee with Justine.
Here's what's going to happen, Justine. You are going to win this pageant. You are going to win this pageant, and I am going to be the one who pushes you to do it.
Yes, I would agree. I would agree that those are the alliances sort of at, let's say, the climax.
I think it's important to note that the guys get on the Benjamin train because boys need to win something every once in a while. Like, it's how long has it been since a boy has won something?
American boys need a win.
Exactly. And Dee is working through her mommy issues with poor young girl named Justine.
Yeah, Justine is great.
But it is worth noting also that both of these contestants that the gang is coaching are losers. Because
did you say losers?
I did say losers because in the end, I don't know. I think that's a funny little bit. In the end, it's just the prettiest girl. Like,
yeah, it's not shocking.
They just fall back on the easy answer.
Which is interesting because it's referenced that Dee herself has won many a beauty pageant, much to the surprise of the gang, especially Mac.
How would you win pageants? Did you have a different face?
Yeah,
one of the best lines in the episode is Frank's retort to that.
No, she was a dog back then, too. It's just that she worked at it.
But Frank does give her credit because she put in the work.
Right.
Fueled by spite and self-loathing or whatever.
Right.
She worked real hard with the tanning and the makeup.
And I would say that both Benjamin and Justine are putting in off-screen a significant amount of work. They have the most elaborate numbers by quite a bit.
Benjamin, yes. But Justine, I don't know. I think she did learn the routine, but...
She drank coffee. Her hair hurts. She put in those teeth.
She did. She went through with it, but it was really Dee doing
of course.
Like dragging her along. Also, I'll just get into it because we're just fucking free-flowing. I didn't deep dive, but I looked up Justine and Samantha and what they're doing now, and it's pretty funny that Justine seemed to have a few roles after that, but eventually like kind of bailed on it, and she's just, as far as I can tell, kind of like sort of normie / LA kind of person on social media. Like,
it's worth noting that Justine had a role in a television show that's worth mentioning.
Oh, what did she have a role in?
She was in the Mick. Oh wait, no, I'm thinking of the other one.
Samantha?
Is it Caitlin? One of them.
Sister?
Yeah. It was Samantha was in the Mick, not Justine.
Okay.
Emily had a decent role in The Office.
Right.
She was the same age, as she is. Yeah.
Right. The Prince family.
Right. The Prince family.
Who is that? Michael goes and like they're the sweetest neighborhood paper company, and he steals their clients.
Yeah, he's doing some corporate espionage.
That's so bad.
And she also played young Kate in an episode of Lost.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
But yes, these are both 12 years ago at this point. So
right, yeah. So she had a pretty limited role, whereas career / role, whereas Samantha stayed real busy.
Yeah.
And she was ripping. And actually, I tried to watch a show that she was in called Dwight in Shining Armor, which I thought was a really funny, clever name.
I saw some stills from that.
Yes.
And it looked It looked interesting.
I assume that you would hate it because it looks a little corny and it seems right up my alley. Middle America, teenagers get sucked into a fantasy world and have to become medieval. It's like very D&D, very young adult, I guess fantasy.
Fantasy, yeah, I'd say.
I just thought it was funny that Samantha, who was the winner because she was the prettiest, went on to have a pretty decent career. She hasn't broken yet, but
there's some truth
very
to
active.
There's some truth to the way that the pageant plays out and how everyone knows the pageant is going to play out.
Right. Yeah.
Who won?
Samantha. She's the prettiest, right?
Can we talk about Frank tripping?
Please.
It's so random and weird.
It's
I know
so
it's
good.
like it's necessary, but
so
it
good.
seems so awkward and forced.
Kudos to the sound design because it really sounds like a shin is hitting a stool. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a really specific sound.
Son of a bitch! Guys!
It's funny. My brain immediately said, like, well, that seems so easy. Like the Foley artist or whatever would just put a mic near a stool and just knock it with his shin. And then I remembered, no, that's the whole thing, is that the actual thing happening doesn't sound like what you think it would sound like.
Right.
That's their whole point.
It's evoking something in your mind, something back there.
Right. That's why people
on a stool
slap chicken and crack celery.
It's great. It looked painful, even though I know that it's not real. It's still, the makeup is so good. Both nostrils.
Right. Yeah, his evolution throughout this episode is just really great. Again, I say this all the time, but it's one of those things that you just can't see again for the first time.
Mm-hmm. And you can't see it on any other person other than Danny DeVito.
Anyways, yeah, so I thought it was a little forced. I didn't love how they shoehorned it in, because I feel like they could have had one of the gang be like, we'll pick that up later. And then, there could have been a reason for the chair to be there.
No, it's perfect the way it is. I strongly disagree. Also, they're interrupting a conversation that I really wish we could have heard more of.
No, we never had kings in this country. No, that was the whole point of this country, is that we didn't want a king.
I'm guessing Charlie was wondering who the first king of America was or something like that.
Or who the current king of America is.
Yeah, it could be.
Okay, what else do you like about this opening scene?
There's a lot of great stuff. I mean, again, like you said, you just can't see it again for the first time, but the twisting of what the expectations that happen in this opening bit.
Right.
Where Frank's, given the backstory, he was at a strip club.
Oh, strange man, titty bar, a great investment opportunity.
He gets the opportunity to make a little cash and with some broads. So it's like, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't I?
Yeah, makes perfect sense.
And yeah, he's just met with disbelief.
The gang is not seeing the problem.
Mac has a great line.
Awesome.
Dennis's excitement when the women walk through. And of course, the tag at the end.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I really like when they prance in, their footsteps are in sync, and it's very synchronized.
It's a very disturbing image.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
Which we get into in the next scene when they're in the office arguing about it.
Yeah.
And Charlie really turns everyone around. And it's weird, but I kind of understand and agree with his point of view.
Child pageantry is an essential part of the American fabric. You know what? We should dress up our little kids just to show other people that we can.
It's very American, or so it seems. I don't know. I've never do you know if Sweden has child beauty pageants?
Not that I'm aware of. I don't know. This is the future of patriotism. The reason that we do it is because we can. It's not because we want our kids to have an experience or learn anything. It's because other countries can't do this.
Exactly.
And we have to show the world
the extent to which we can sexualize our children, because we can.
What does he say?
We can do whatever we want with our kids, and that's what America is all about.
Put them in little revealing swimsuits. And it's fucked up, but I think I agree. That's why, it's I don't like them, but we can.
There's a little nugget of truth in there, but just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do something. I think that's the fundamental problem with this.
But how do you know what you can do unless you do it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think child pageants have been going on for a very long time.
So you're saying we did it, we proved we can, we don't have to keep doing it?
Haven't we learned our lesson? Wasn't Jean-Benet Ramsey enough? How did that not... It's only gotten more popular since then.
That probably inspired it, like the Toddlers and Tiaras, which apparently this is inspired by.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I don't know. The word diddler is a funny word and is in this episode a lot.
Diddler, diddling, diddled.
The cop says it at the end.
Man's a diddler.
Oh, he's been diddling kids. We've been trying to get that diddler. That's the only way they could pull it off, maybe?
Yeah, you're not saying...
There's no other word you could use.
Right. You want to make something horrible sound funny in a way?
Yeah, anything else would be way too harsh and real.
Have you heard it outside of the context of Always Sunny? I can't think of any examples.
I feel like I've heard the word. Like it wasn't like I had to look it up or anything.
Yeah.
Like I knew what they were saying, but it could have been from context. But I feel like I've heard that word.
It's very weird to see Frank take off his glasses when he's first introducing himself to the moms and the pageanters,
The contestant.
pageantees. Yeah, the contestants.
I am not going to diddle your kids. I'm not like that. That's not my thing. I met that guy in a titty bar.
That's enough.
It's like a...
That's enough.
I didn't notice that.
Because when Frank's legendary line of "Do I look suspicious?"
Do I look suspicious?
Oh yeah,
is him looking extremely suspicious, and he's not wearing glasses, and his face is all bashed to
I
bits.
always want Dee to respond with a different line, but she says you look grotesque, I think.
Yeah.
But she doesn't confirm that he looks suspicious, whereas he does look very suspicious. His grotesqueness is what makes him look suspicious.
Right.
Which is, maybe a little judgy on my part, but...
When they're working on the song originally, there's a great multi-stage bit of them discussing their role in the pageant. Yeah, as in, are they going to be in it?
Hey, I'm thinking maybe we could actually be in this thing.
I'm glad you said it, because I'm desperate to be in this thing.
Oh, I didn't realize it was even a conversation. I always assumed we would be heavily involved.
There's no question we're going to be in this.
I didn't think we even needed to talk about this. And then we get, of course, Frank's amazing song that I'm pretty sure he flubs some of the lines, but it's funnier that way because he has potential brain damage at this point.
Do it with anybody younger than my daughter. No little kids, gotta be big, older than my wife, younger than my daughter, something like that.
But yeah, I think he says older than my wife also. He's doing a great job in his descent into madness with his face injury.
What did you think of the Walter character?
I thought Walter was good. He seems innocuous. He reminds me of the guy from The Office. Not to reference it too much, but the office worker. Or maybe he's someone's friend, but he's the guy who says, "Do you think gum has gotten too minty these days?"
Oh, is that Mark Porsche? Yeah.
Maybe.
Bald guy?
The bald guy from The Office.
Yeah.
He's just really friendly, just obnoxiously weird and
Yeah, that guy is hilarious. He's in a series that I guess it's a series on Cinema at the Cinema, which is one of my favorite things ever. He's a main character in that. He's in What We Do in the Shadows. He's the energy vampire, basically playing the same kind of role. I think his character's name is Nate in The Office.
It is. Yeah. Totally. But it's not him. But he reminds me of him. He's just very
Let's be clear, it's not him.
But let me be clear.
It's not him. It's the character Walter is very innocuous and kind of seems very straight-laced. But after you watch the episode multiple times and you know how it ends, you can sort of start to pick up on things.
Yeah, the gang references him being all business.
He's all business, that guy,
When he decides to have lunch.
Yeah, of course he is.
With the children. They invite him to sit with that. They're like, "Hey, you want to grab a seat and eat some?" Oh, he's already hanging out with kids. Okay.
It's the wolf in sheep's clothing. It's a tale as old as time. It's the Trojan horse.
And they really do reference it later at, who would have thought 2 separate diddlers.
It's like being at the beach, having a picnic.
And not expecting the seagulls to show up.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a good unexpected, even though, again, like we've seen this a million times, but it is a nice twist.
Mm-hmm.
In that.
And it's great when the cops show up to take him away and Danny or Frank just lays down whatever he says at that point. Oh, I'm done. I'm out of here.
Oh, that's it. I'm done. I'm going away.
Hands behind his back.
Laying on the stage.
Regarding Walter, it's also the interaction with him and Dee initially is great because Dee is like, yeah, okay, well, I guess no one else is here. I'm in charge of the chairs.
Right, she switches
how quickly it changes.
My name is Walter Harris. I'm with the Family Association for the Protection of Children.
Ooh, okay.
She wants to limit her responsibilities, so she says that she's in charge of this right here. And as she's pointing, she realizes she's pointing at chairs.
Yeah.
So instead of contestants or children that she's in charge of, just chairs.
It's fun to see Charlie as there's no discussion. Maybe it's implied to be off screen, but he becomes the director immediately.
I see amateurs. I see trash. Little pieces of trash on my stage.
I think that's obvious, yeah.
Because he has experience.
Right. And now, we've already seen The Nightman Cometh, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he just picks that role back up. One of my favorite lines in this episode is when Dee strikes out with Samantha and then goes to her sister.
It's a clash of the Titans, Dee versus Samantha. Samantha is legitimately scary.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Terrible breath.
So here's my thing. My favorite line is when she strikes out with Samantha and goes to Justine to try and recruit Justine. Says that line.
She is a stupid little shit-mouthed bitch, isn't she?
And Justine's response, I believe, is...
You just said a lot of bad words.
Here's what's going to happen, Justin.
Such a good delivery.
Your mom doesn't know dick. She's a dumb fat cow. And your sister, she's a stupid little shit-mouthed bitch, isn't she? God, it's so good.
You just said a lot of bad words. It's well written and well delivered. It's funny. I think Justine is perfect for this part, but I don't know if she's like actually a good actress. Emily Evan Ray.
She's supposed to just be getting run over by Dee. So
right, she's supposed to be uninterested. She just wants to do her homework.
Yeah, she's good in this role.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like her deliveries are unenthusiastic, detached, blah, blah, blah. And it works perfectly. But when I think about it too much from like a third level, whatever, like when I go up, zoom out, I'm like, oh, maybe that's someone who's just awkward and not very emphatic and not a good actor would just deliver the lines dryly, and that works perfectly.
And just getting
casting.
Just getting steamrolled by a woman with some severe mommy issues. Now, it's interesting, but I also see the point as to why Frank would go to a funeral home.
Well, yes, I agree. It sounds outrageous at first, but his first response, the justification...
Oh, what on earth did you do to your face?
I had it done at a funeral home.
Why?
Well, where the hell am I going to go? To the goddamn makeup counter at Macy's? You go to a funeral home to get gruesome repairs.
Okay, if you ignore the color change in his skin tone, if you picture him from the gruesomeness, when Dee says he looks grotesque, to what he physically looks like when he's backstage, he looks pretty bandaged up and cleaned up. He moves his nose back and forth a little bit.
Maybe it's like the fact that he's in a tuxedo and his hair is, I don't know how else to phrase this other than down.
Right. It's like slicked down.
Down? He does look dead. The skin tone doesn't help. I understand that. But
yeah,
I think everything together, yes, it's an improvement. That's where I'm going to land. It's an improvement.
It's an improvement, but it's like one of those things where it's like you don't have to do all of it. Like you didn't have to go full whiteface.
That's
like,
the problem. Yeah.
Like you're not like in a 60s Dracula sitcom.
And while I am saying that I understand why he went to the funeral home, I don't necessarily understand his reasoning for bringing the mortician.
Right. We could get into that. Frank's the whole episode, he's trying to distance himself from the strange man at the titty bar that he saw who was a diddler.
He's distancing himself. He's thinking about writing a song about it. He's making sure the audience knows that his dressing room is on this side.
Their dressing room over there on that side of the stage. I am going to my dressing room. We will be right back. I'm over here.
And he's bringing a mortician because...
Why would I have a cretin like that near me if I had something to hide?
I think that he's doing it all wrong. Like, I understand what he's trying to do, but it's like when you're over... He doesn't see how he's overdoing it and making it worse.
Yeah, it's like the constant reminders to the audience that he's not a diddler. Not the television audience, but the audience of the beauty pageant. I'd say like even that is pushing it. So then when you bring around a mortician whose mouth is dry and he wants some water, it's like he looks like the Addams Family guy, the butler. Lurch? Yeah, he looks like Lurch. Mort is played by John Wiltshire, and I would just like to say he did a great job.
He did, and I would like to say that John Wiltshire has like a weirdly cool career in acting.
I'm somehow not surprised by that because he did seem like he knew what he was doing.
Well, here's the thing. It seems like his career has spanned 20 plus years from like the early 90s to like the late 2015 or whatever.
He was a late bloomer?
And I guess so, but he's so like inactive. He's only probably been, or at least credited in like 20 things over a 20 plus year. Like he'll go for like 4 years without doing something.
He's picky is what you're saying.
Yes, very, very picky. It was, it was just fun to see that. And again, I tried to watch something that he was in because, again, it was just looked super terrible and appealed to me. He was in some movie called Walking the Halls, which was, it looked like a Mean Girls sort of take, but they're prostitutes. And they like recruit quirky, innocent high school girl to join their crew, but she doesn't know what's happening. And then the next day she finds out that she was getting paid for sleeping with that guy and not just having a fun night out. And then it's a whole thing. And the police, like the high school police officer is the pimp, is like the ringleader.
I see.
And there's like a whole thing, and he threatens one of them because she wants to like get out. Anyway, it seemed like really trashy and really cheesy, and I tried to watch it, but I couldn't find it anywhere. But John Wiltshire is in it, one of his first roles.
And last thing I just want to mention about the mortician and his work on Frank is Artemis's reaction. Nice to see Artemis in another episode, as always. A little underutilized, but maybe she makes up for it with her very quick reaction to Frank's makeup.
What is her reaction?
She goes,
just a facial. The appropriate reaction.
Right.
We also get a good moment where everyone raises their hand to talk about the mortician. That's a classic Sunny bit where they're like, do you want to go? Can I go? I'm down. Yeah, let me ask. Artemis also has a really good line when I think it's the Yankee Doodle skit comes up.
Sir, go back to your seat.
Yeah, she just repeats her first line with like more emphasis and stuff, and it's great. Killing it. As always, Artemis, classic.
Throughout the show, it's great to see the gang singing and dancing. As always, they like weirdly love doing that. Obviously.
Yeah. They're all good at it.
I thought both of the songs were really good.
Yeah.
Magic's in the air, Lace and Silk is everywhere.
Give me a beat.
That song is enhanced by Max Turtleneck.
Yeah. The fit is perfect.
Incredible.
He does it's funny, and again, I say this all the time. I forget that they are all really talented at many other things because of training and whatever, and that's why they're here. But when he saunters across stage, he crosses from one side to the other, and he's just doing like a weird, like, flowy motion with his hands. It looks like, I don't know, it's something that I could do. I could be like, oh, I could just do that, but it wouldn't look good. He actually looks good while doing it.
He's a graceful fat man.
It's crazy and awesome, and yeah. And there's my favorite part of the song is when Charlie drops into it's like
nothing but from state to state and town to town. These girls would turn your frown upside down.
And he drops into like the sort of quick, almost rap.
Yeah.
I just get excited every time I hear that transition.
And then Dee's song is not quite as lively, but it's a great little ode to Barbara, I guess.
Moms stink. P.U.
Barbara's picture is literally on the set.
Yeah. I didn't catch that. I thought it was Justine and Samantha's mother because she was like projecting onto them and also maybe jealous of them and whatever. But yeah, I later learned that it is just a picture of her mother and it's just her living out her actual mother issues, like you've said.
It's just great because Justine doesn't sing a word. It's just Dee just being pretty inappropriate, talking shit on moms.
Yep. Justine is just there to qualify her for, like, to actually be on stage.
Right.
Wearing her fake teeth. My favorite line or my favorite part of that number is when she says,
A big humongous pain in my vagina. Moms are ugly.
That, it's growl?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's vocal fry at that point when it's so deep, but
it's a singing style. It fits with the genre of music.
Yeah. I mean, it reminds me of like a brass instrument when you like fart it a little bit, you know, and it breaks up, and it's like it evokes something and it
tickles something in your lizard brain or something like.
I was just thinking, like, evolutionarily, what is it? Is there something that's like guttural and like does it come from a growl, like literally an animal growling?
Did an animal make this sound in some point in human history, and now we all have that stuck?
Yeah, like we get excited and it feels powerful, or
it's tribal.
Yeah, exactly. So Dee saying the word vagina with a tribal guttural growl in it is a highlight for me, for sure.
And I really figured that Frank's hot mic moment would be something that spoke to you.
Oh yeah, as we sort of
because it kind of
started the episode with,
kind of just sounds like you.
Dead, you bang me all you want. Who cares? Dead body's like a piece of trash. I mean, shove as much shit in there as you want.
Yeah, I don't know if I would go like again for the necrophilia level, but
sure. But I think he's just using that as an example.
But I do fundamentally agree that I wouldn't know, so I don't really care. So it's like, I mean, you know what? Maybe if I was like either in a relationship or if I was attracted to someone and they were attracted to me and they were like, they had a thing where they wanted to have sex with a dead person and they want, if I was able to like provide someone with joy, and fulfillment even after death, I guess I would be happy with that. Because that's like what I want to do when I'm alive. I like, people that I care about, my friends and stuff. I want to like be there for them and be entertaining and like, blah, blah, blah. So if I could do that when I'm dead, actually I changed my mind.
This is what podcasting is all about. Right. It's all about people changing their minds about necrophilia.
So if you want to have sex with a dead person, let's see if that's legal. Maybe I could sign a release form.
I have a feeling it's not, but also you don't have to tell anybody.
I mean, also fuck your feelings. You're not the Supreme Court of me, of my dead.
We're not condoning any kind of illegal activity. This is all parody.
What?
You have to say that,
Oh, this is not financial advice.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha. Okay.
What?
I'm condoning a lot of things.
You got real upset there for a second. The final song in the batch of songs that I said were all pretty good is Benjamin's Yankee Doodle Dandy remix.
For the future of patriotism.
Oh yeah, big time.
And I would just like to point out that I think that the guys in this scene, they're wearing those jumpsuits and being all robotic. You know the band Devo?
Of course.
Do you know about their cover of the Rolling Stones' Satisfaction?
I do not.
Okay, well, there's a music video for that song, and they are wearing yellow jumpsuits and moving like robots.
I think I referenced, or in my brain, thought of Revenge of the Nerds.
Are they in that movie?
No, but the Revenge of the Nerds, I forget which one it is, but they throw a huge party.
Mm-hmm.
And like the one guy's a nerd and plays violin, and like, you know, they have like a DJ and like they're smart, so they set up a crazy sound system.
Right,
and
right. I know what
it's a
you're
very
talking
similar 80s, and I think they have jumpsuits and hard hats, and I think that's a reference to those Devo hats,
right?
And the jumpsuits. So it's like there's like
it's a reference of a reference.
A double, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But it's pretty good. There's some like pretty heavy guitars in the remix. There's like a Teddy Roosevelt quote. There's the classic Ronald Reagan quote that was probably in songs that were not jokes.
Right. Yeah.
That sound like this.
Oh yeah, big time.
We got the Painted On Abs, which I feel like is an important thing to talk about real quick.
Yeah. The classic Sonny Painted On Abs, which comes back. And even the child Benjamin had the Painted On Abs, which I think might have gone a little too far. Abs are not necessarily a sexual thing, but
I think more than that, it's the end of the number when he rips open the shirt or jacket or whatever you want to call it.
Right.
And he's bare-chested with
Painted
On Abs.
He's bare-chested the whole time. He just has a jacket on. You can see
he's exposed a little bit more in that freeze.
Yeah.
Stage freeze. I would love to see like the gang, probably Charlie specifically, recording these songs, making these beats, etc.
Right, in the studio.
I would love, because specifically the Yankee Doodle Dandy remix, I just would love to see the process behind that. It intrigues me.
What are the chances that they just found that remix?
No, I think it was made for the show.
Okay.
But it's. I mean,
I guess
I'm gonna say this, but like it's within reason. It's like it sounds like a pretty low effort, pasted together thing.
Right. I understand what you're saying, and
made in like GarageBand or whatever.
And I realize now that I'm saying it that in addition to your head canon, in the show canon, I think Dennis or Mac says that they actually need to update some of these patriotic songs.
Yes, the song needs an update. All of these old patriotic songs need updates.
Yeah, they're like 200 years old. That's why nobody wants to listen to them.
Speaking of which, Yankee Doodle Dandy is from a musical, I think called that, from like 1941. So, only 80 or so years old.
Yeah, but I think he's talking about like national anthems in general.
Right, yeah, totally.
I went to a Sweden versus Slovenia basketball game a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And, before the game, it was for the World Cup basketball. And before the game, they played both national anthems. It's weird how a lot of countries' national anthems sound the same. And like, I think they're all kind of from the same time.
Right. Like
it's really weird.
Like John Philip Sousa made something cool and everyone's like, we need that. Let's get that.
Exactly. So I was saying, I think that we should maybe the UN would do this. I'm not sure. Just be like, all right, here's the deal. We're starting from scratch. Every country, let's do a new one.
Are you declaring a Eurovision country national anthem contest?
It's not a contest. No. It's not a contest. But
it kind of would be.
It's an unofficial contest. Yes, and we all know who would win.
Are you saying Sweden because of all the pop songwriting?
I am not saying that.
Are you saying America because fuck yeah?
Yes, because it's the greatest country on earth.
Because we have more guns?
I just think that would be nice. I think it's time.
And we have more freedom?
We have more freedom. I do think it's time for everyone, because I think a lot of them are from the same time. A lot of them sound the same. Let's mix it up. Let's get some new genres. Let's get something catchy,
Let's throw some trap hats in there, you know?
Want to sing or rap to.
Maybe Philip Anselmo could do the United States lyrics.
I could see him doing something for like the state of Louisiana or something like that. Yeah. If anyone from the UN listens to this podcast, just float that idea to your boss.
Yeah, and just
you probably are the boss, let's be honest.
Yeah, just picture Philip Anselmo on a fan boat, wrestling gators,
singing the Louisiana
themes,
anthem,
Northern Florida state anthem, and go from there. We're just spitballing.
I think it's a great idea. And it is time. Dennis was right, or Mac or whoever. I think it was Dennis.
We need an update. Quick side note. So the Yankee Doodle Dandy was. I'm gonna get this wrong. I think it was like written or Whatever by Orson Welles?
What?
The guy who did War of the Worlds?
Yeah, I know who Orson Welles is.
I'm pretty sure he like produced it or wrote it or something. Because they like made it was a movie. It wasn't like a stage play.
Yeah,
but it was a musical.
I mean, and it's not that old. So,
are you fact checking me? Live action?
I'm not doing it in a
I think
rude kind of way. I'm in disbelief. Do you know the best Orson Welles media that exists?
War of the Worlds?
It's his ad for this champagne. Have you seen this when he's super drunk? You haven't seen this?
No, I have not.
Holy
No, I have
shit.
not seen
I'm going to send it to you right now. Yeah, it was his follow-up to fucking Citizen Kane.
Yeah, so I just like...
That is so weird.
I didn't go deep dive, but
I thought you meant the
Citizen
song
Kane
was written by him. That's what I was in disbelief of.
No, the movie, the musical was
Now
like
I
written,
get it.
and I guess he was like a Broadway or show tuney guy prior to movies, and Citizen Kane was like his fucking first movie. Also, I've never seen that movie.
I never have either.
I probably should. Also, I didn't know this, but his name is George. So his name is George Orson Welles. And whenever anyone says Orson Welles, I'm like, War of the Worlds, he's pretty famous, blah, blah, blah. I always think of George Orwell.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know why.
Yeah. Or.
And then,
it's like sense. It makes perfect sense.
Orson Welles or Wells. And then his first name is George. So it's George Orwell and George Orson Welles.
George
It's
Orwell,
like-
George Orson Welles.
And then we go a little bit further down this rabbit hole.
Oh my God. My brain is...
War of the Worlds is a radio adaptation of, I think, a book. Do you know who wrote that?
Let me guess.
H.G. Wells.
Oh my God. Are you serious?
Go on the Wikipedia and all the Wells. I mean, okay, so in my brain,
my God.
I'm the one who adds George Orwell because of the similarities.
I don't think
but it's
you're alone.
understandable. But on paper, on Wikipedia, H.G. Wells wrote War of the Worlds. George Orwell adapted it.
Can you say that in the most fast and concise way? Put a sentence together?
I always get George Orson Welles, who adopted the War of the Worlds written by H.G. Wells with George Orwell. I think that's the best one I could do.
Okay. Please watch this. I would love to throw in the audio of this commercial.
Okay, I'm watching.
Take one. With overlap, action please. Action also, please.
Just do anything?
Sorry, cut. You're rolling.
Just do anything?
102, take two.
Ah, the French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. There is a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage dated. So Paul Masson.
102, take three. Action, please.
Ah, the French champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence. There is a California champagne by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence. It's fermented in the bottle, and like the best French champagne, it's vintage dated. So Paul Masson.
Incredible. Incredible. The cop says the man's a diddler, which is great. The vernacular has worked its way into law enforcement. Maybe that's where it came from. The gang reacting to the cop is hilarious. It's like hot lava, whoop, turning around.
They just quick turn and hide in a crowd.
And of course, as you mentioned, Frank's reaction is to get on the ground and put his hands behind his back while loudly into a hot microphone saying, "I'm going down. I'm going away."
The best part of that is that he didn't do anything.
Yeah. That's like, what could he possibly be taken down for? I guess association.
Yeah, but it's like, but they already got the other guy. Like, it's pretty funny, and I guess that does justify or sort of explain his paranoia, and his actions throughout the episode. Is that he really thinks he's going to jail,
and that the cops are going to break into the pageant and arrest him. And then his worst dreams are coming true.
Right. He knew it was going to happen.
I tell you, children's beauty pageants are an American tradition, but not a proud one.
Nope.
I'm going to go.
Let's go. Let's go. Because
But a tradition nonetheless.
Like a lot of American traditions.
And like a lot of American traditions, they're probably not going away anytime soon.
The little bow on the top, one of the parents asks who won. And instead of being like, well, we put in all this work on this contestant, or we painted on abs on this contestant.
Despite American boys needing a win.
Samantha.
It's
I will
Samantha.
say her talent portion did seem to be the smoothest.
Yeah, I think they put that together on purpose. The cowgirl was a little weak. Hula hooping just wasn't happening.
I thought that was the cutest one, personally.
Yeah, but lots of failure,
Yeah.
Very little talent, since this was the talent portion. And then the hula dancing was weird, but...
Also pretty cute.
Is your clock ticking?
What?
You got baby on the brain?
No, I just think it's like they obviously were just like, just do this in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Something, they don't know what they're doing. I don't know. It's funny to see kids squirming and like, doing something bad. It's cute.
Would you like to give a letter grade to this Always Sunny performance?
This is tough because I really do like this episode.
Agreed.
The problem is that I saw which episode is next, and I don't want to give 3 A+ in a row necessarily. So I'm giving.
Do you know this isn't like a point buy system? Like you don't have to save.
Yeah, but like on the 3rd episode, I was like, I don't know, I have like 5 A+ throughout the series, and you're like 5. So I have to like stick to the thing that I said a long time ago. This is an A. It's an A. It's a solid, strong A.
Okay. I feel you.
It's a great episode. It's hilarious.
I think that's reasonable.
Artemis is in it.
I mean, what more could we want? Maybe Ben the Soldier? Maybe Cricket?
I loved Mac's line about when they're like, does she even know how to work the soundboard? And he's like, we don't have a very deep bench, which was like a nice little tip of the cap to
the deep bench was good.
The reality of them really just having like a handful of extra characters.
Yeah, they have like 8 maybe.
Yeah. And Artemis really does make the most sense in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, her and Dee have been in theater classes and acting classes.
That's what I'm saying.
So it makes sense. Who are you going to get? Rex? Okay, quick side note. I'm going to give this an A+. Everybody knew that. It's great. Have fun. Watch it. I saw a couple of clips of the Always Sunny podcast recently on Instagram. Glenn Howerton has a shaved head, and as does Mac.
Yeah, they both look...
Is there any chance
old?
that Glenn Howerton has like cancer or something?
I think it's for a role because a couple episodes of that show ago, he had like, they had shaved in like the male pattern baldness horseshoe thing.
Gotcha.
So I think he's growing it out from that.
Okay. Yeah, because it was
he like
weird.
posted pictures on his Instagram and shit of him with that fucked up
He
hair.
looked really skinny and had a shaved head, and I was like...
Him and Rob both, their faces are very gaunt.
Right. That's it. And Glenn looked like that because I don't know. He didn't look like super healthy to begin with. But Mac, when I saw him, I was like, wait, he looks like he went from like normal Mac to fat Mac to jacked Mac, and now he's like old and skinny and sick looking Mac. This doesn't seem good. Did they both get cancer? Did they get cancer from each other? What's going on?
Yeah, I think. Well, I don't know about Rob. But I think Glenn was filming
He's doing it for
something.
a role.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Mac did it in solidarity. That makes perfect sense.
Yes, very likely.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, we've been on this for several hours, so I feel like we should wrap things up and say our goodnights.
Good night.
Brought to you by the Natty and New Network.
Good night, y'all. Good night, y'all.